Hey everyone, Ethan here from WordTech, and I've got an unboxing for you. So I first off would like to start by saying that this is actually my second time unboxing this product. I originally filmed unboxing it. The audio ended up being out of sync with the video, so this is the second one. That's why you see that it's already been opened. But anyway, first things first is it's an SF600 600 watt power supply from Corsair. It's their SFX power supply. One of the highest output SFX power supplies on the market right now. There is one by Sonic, I believe it is. It's pushing 750 watts instead, which if I need more power, probably won't, but if I do, I'll end up going with that one. But this is for my new Mini ITX build that I'm doing over the next month or so. So anyway, first I'd like to talk about the packaging. It's a really nice box. It feels good. It's got good designs on it. It's got good images of the product there on the front. Amazon actually, though, shipped it just by slapping the label on this package, on the plastic on the outside that I've already torn off. That was a little bit frustrating. Thankfully, Corsair is known for having good enough padding for me to not have to worry about the power supply being damaged, but I really feel like it should have been in a separate box, because you can see there's dings and whatnot on the side of the box here. But anyway, going around to the back of the box, you've just got them talking about high quality components, ultra low noise. They're talking about the fan noise level. They have the noise levels directly on the box in dB, not dBA, dB. And it's actually silent up to 120 watts, which is pretty cool. So at idle, completely silent, the fan turns off. And it shows its efficiency curve. It's an 80+ gold efficiency power supply. And yeah, so let's get into it. So here we've got a wonderful, fun extra box that we have to do the slide method to get out. There we go. Alright. I do like Corsair's packaging though, it's generally good. And the first thing you'll notice when you open it up is a little clear plastic baggie with almost 10 zip ties in there. So that's pretty awesome. I like to see them including a lot of them. A lot of companies will include like 3. What am I going to do with 3 zip ties? It doesn't make any sense. So they include a lot of zip ties. They include your 4 power supply mounting screws, which are no different than a standard power supply mounting screws pattern for like ATX and whatnot. It's the same screws that you would use for ATX. And then you get a Corsair case badge powered by Corsair. I like that. I don't use case badges myself, but eventually I'm going to be putting them all on a plaque and hanging them on the wall, so it'd be nice for that. Anyway, you have your warranty guide that you might not even ever open. You've got a really nice manual. I'm actually quite impressed with how good this manual is here. It talks about the efficiency curve, the fan noise, all the cables, lots of languages, but every page is glossy, and the front of it's actually a nice matte coating, so I'm impressed with Corsair on that front. And in here we've got your big power supply cable, actually a little bit larger than or a little bit higher gauge it seems than I would expect for a 600 watt power supply. Nothing wrong with that though, that's always, good. And then got another bag in here. This bag here is where all your cables are stored. It actually comes with a cable storage bag, although you'll probably end up using almost all the cables that come with it anyway. You got your 24 pin, and these are actually really nice cables for stock cables. They're not as nice as like Bitphoenix's power supplies come with the custom sleeved cables. Well, they're not custom to order, but I mean they're actual sleeving rather than just a cute little sleeve to wrap all the mustard cables, or what Corsair is doing, which is kind of an in-between, where instead of putting a sleeve over the entire set of cables, they're just having each cable rubber coated in black. So it looks a lot nicer than most stock cables. It's still not going to give you the same look as custom cables, but I mean, hey, it's something. The only thing I really complain about, or have to complain about when it comes to the cables so far, is The ATX cable was in like 4 parts, and I think that looks really ugly. I wish that was just one smooth cable. So I wish there was something they could do about that, but they have this weird breakout at the end. So I suppose that is probably why that's happening there. Anyway, got that. They're not very long, which I appreciate Corsair in doing that. There are some SFX power supplies that include stupid long cables, and you're working in an ITX rig. If you have an SFX power supply, you don't generally need longer than 300 millimeters, I believe is what these are. So I'm really happy about that. You've got your 8-pin CPU power, so plenty to power like X99 on MITX or something like that. You've got 2 PCI Express 6+2 pin connectors. These here are for your graphics card, of course, so you'll be able to power almost any graphics card out there other than the triple 6s or whatnot out there that exist, but pretty much anything modern you'll be able to power with this power supply. You'll have all the connections for it. You've got a single connector for 4 SATA power and a single connector here for 4 Molex power. I'm kind of wondering, I thought Corsair had kind of gotten over the whole Molex thing. So I actually recently got a, I think it was an RX 1000 watt power supply from Corsair, and instead of including Molex in the box, they included more SATA and they had a couple adapters for the Molex, if I recall correctly. And anyway, though, I feel like we should be getting over Molex at this point. And I'd like to see this cable here being either all SATA with some adapters or being like 2 Molex, 2 SATA, because 4 SATA might not be enough, because if you're doing a really high-end ITX rig, not only might you have more than 4 drives, which in my case I'll probably end up having 5, but also a lot of LEDs and whatnot can be controlled by, or can be powered by SATA now. So I feel like it would be a good idea for them to just include more SATA. But anyway, got that, and then we've got the beauty here. And this right here is why, actually probably one of the big reasons why I buy Corsair power supplies, despite, you know, they're also good PSUs, but their packaging is just so top notch. This here is like 1/4 inch thick, dense foam that they wrap the power supply in. This isn't even a heavy power supply. You know, they're bigger units, they use even better foam than this. But this here, I feel confident dropping it off a building, if, you know, and it would survive. It's really thick foam, so I appreciate them doing that. And then they included in this little bag to keep it from scratching, which I also appreciate. And we'll pull out the beauty now. There she is, everybody. Absolutely beautiful power supply, especially for an SFX. A lot of the SFX power supplies look too generic. This one has a nice soft touch coating, very fingerprint resistant, which actually I find kind of hilarious that a power supply is fingerprint resistant. Why can't companies learn to do that with, you know, things you actually touch? But anyway, we've got the fan here, very quiet fan. It's one of the silent fans, so it's silent at idle, anything under 120 watts. And it's just overall really tiny power supply. You got your connections here for your 24-pin, your 6+2 pin, and your peripheral and SATA right there. And you also got the CPU on the bottom as well. Those 3 down there. Not a lot of connections, but you know, that's the whole point. It's so tiny though. Every time I've opened it about 3 times now, and every time I'm just amazed by how tiny it is in comparison to a full ATX unit. So this is actually pretty cool. I think this is definitely the way to go for ITX systems. I mean, honestly, in an ITX system, the chances of you needing more than, you know, 750 watts like the Seasonic, or even more than 600 watts is pretty low. And I feel like companies that are building cases should generally build them to support SFX power supplies, because now we have some actually good SFX units. And Case Labs recently actually came out with their Bullet BH2, which is their MITX case, and it's using SFX and SFX-L power supplies. The L's are a little bit longer. But anyway, it's I feel like that's the direction we should be moving. If we're focusing on space optimization, I feel like it's really important that instead of using, you know, up case space for full ATX PSUs, throw in an SFX and have more room for some extra SSDs or drives or just cable management even. I mean, a lot of the cases out there that have that are MITX that have full ATX power supply compatibility, I feel like just making it so that there's a bracket adapter for them that comes with them now that works with SFX gives you more room for cable management. So I think this really is the way to go for ITX systems. MATX, maybe not so much. There are situations within MATX where you may be using over 750 watts. Not that that's super likely, but if you're going, you know, 10 core, you know, 2, you know, crazy, you know, Titans or something like that, you might be using a significant amount of power, especially if you're running a lot of physical mechanical drives. So anyway, I think 600 is actually probably good for most people, and 750, I would be really surprised if somebody managed to build an ITX system, full liquid cooling and everything, that went over 750 watts. So anyway, thank you for watching. Be sure to comment and let me know what you think of the power supply. Let me know if you own one or maybe one of the other good SFX power supplies out there, and just let me know how I'm doing. Let me know how you like the videos, and please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.